There are specific rules and regulations surrounding the housing, location and confinement of poultry in the Auckland city limits. For the male gender of one species of bird, this can sometimes mean a short and brutal life. If they are lucky, they find their way into the helping hands of Bill and Kath Worsfold.
My name's Bill
and my name's Kath.
And welcome to The Roost. And that's the sound of it. This is a rooster sanctuary in the New Zealand bush, Northland bush here. We've got about 3 dozen rescued roosters who live with us, give us enormous pleasure with their company, and lots of good fertilizer for the gardens as a bonus.
They were in need, and they were rescued from all sorts of places, the sides of roads, and people who had a rooster all of a sudden instead of a hen. So, yeah.
So here they are. When we first got them, in terms of to accommodate them, Linda said, oh, they'll just sleep in trees. We found that they can't really fly that well, and they do wing-assisted jumping really, so some of them could get into trees. I ended up having to build structures so they could get up into the trees, and then got a big puri tree here, and we had most of them slept in there. And then I started building bits of shelter under the deck for them in the daytime.
So they themselves, although they were roosters that had lived wild in the parks, they chose to come under the deck, and the more they came under, the more he built perches for them.
So I've got a whole network of bird walks made of tea tree poles and things like that.
Roosters are a lot easier than hens to have, because you just have to throw out some grain, or you give them some greens if you don't have enough greens. But if they're free ranging, you have a lot of greens, so you don't have to feed them that much. Yeah, so it's a lot easier than having hens.
We buy grain though. We buy sacks of whole maize, and a sack of whole maize costs about $33. Used to last 6 weeks when we had about a dozen roosters. Now that we've got 3 dozen roosters, it lasts about 2 weeks.
It's amazing, because each rooster is really individual. They've all got an individual personality. This little guy, Pip, this is Pip, he loves music, and if Bill's playing the guitar, he'll come right up and he'll sit right beside him, and then he'll jump on his knee to sit on his knee, and sometimes he jumps right on the guitar.
The joys of home for roosters. They're so wonderful.
Linda Nunn of Animal Rehoming has rescued and rehomed around 2,500 roosters from within the Auckland city area.
The 2,500 roosters that we've rescued since 2005 have come from various sources, but one of the main ones is people's fascination with eating eggs and watching chicks grow and be raised. And of course what they don't know, or what they don't understand, is half of those are going to be little roosters. And of course one of the worst ways is through School Agriculture Day. New Zealand has a tradition of children raising a small animal and then bringing it to Ag Day in October and showing it off. If they happen to have raised a chick that's turned into a rooster, it won't be kept at home. It'll be dumped in a park or on the roadside. Pet shops play their part by having chicks for sale. People in suburbia go and pick up a chick, and they don't know whether it's going to be a boy or girl. And if it's a boy, it's often dumped. Roosters that are abandoned don't do well. They can be attacked by dogs, they can be hit by traffic, they die of starvation underneath their beautiful plumage. They're just little walking skeletons. They have illnesses that no one's treating. Poachers come and take them to put in their eel traps and for human consumption, and they kill them in the most horrific ways and capture them in the most horrific ways. Now this is the area where we bring the roosters once we rescue them. The people who own this property kindly allowed us to build a little pen here, but this is where we put them until we find them a home or until they're well. So what we do is just put the hay down for the first time. Right, now we need to put their grass and food down for them. Yeah, a lot of people don't realise how essential this grass is to their health. And then of course the favourite bit, this is the bit they love, all the kitchen scraps. So bread, whatever they have left over. So it'd be great if people would save their kitchen scraps for us and just keep them in the deep freeze. Chickens aren't fussy. They'll be very happy little chappies with that. Anyone that wants to hatch out a bunch of chicks, think about it first. Unless you've got somewhere wonderful to raise the little roosters that are going to be half of that clutch, don't do it. And if you really must get eggs and you do want eggs in your life, then please adopt the hens from the animal sanctuary in Matakana. They rescue them from the free-range farms and the battery farms. And of course, adopt a rooster and set up a rooster sanctuary.
Which is exactly what Robin and Malcolm of Arborfield Sanctuary have done.
My name is Malcolm Lee.
And I'm Robin Ray, and our sanctuary is called Arborfield Sanctuary, and along with other farm animals we have 51 roosters here, and they are all a real joy. The upkeep for the roosters involves feeding them twice a day, and we also need to make sure that they're healthy within themselves, which involves twice a year treating them for the prevention of lice and mites and things like that. And every week to 10 days cleaning out the rooster houses. We put down fresh hay for them. And the busiest time with them, of course, is feeding times, but that's also the most enjoyable time, is to be out there with them.
The enclosure is, we did it quite elaborate to ensure that other animals couldn't get in and roosters couldn't get out, and we fenced off the equivalent of over half an acre. And inside the enclosure we built two houses for the roosters.
It involved Malcolm getting online and trying to find good deals for getting fence posts, deer fencing and chicken wire, and we were able to save on expenses because Malcolm did the majority of the actual labour involved. It's great. We have about 20 of the roosters being sponsored at $10 a month each. And yes, certainly if we could get all 51 sponsored, then that would cover the feed. Ideally, we would like to have enough sponsorship coming in that we ourselves would be able to afford to build a second enclosure, because we're at our full capacity now. We really can't take any more, but we are still getting phone calls and emails from people who are wanting us to take their roosters, and unfortunately we just can't.
If you would like to help the roosters in any way, you can contact Linda or Robin and Malcolm via their websites. You can help by donating feed or building materials, sponsoring vet bills, or volunteering some of your time. You could even open a sanctuary of your own.
So please don't be part of the cruelty, be part of the answer.